Okay, guys, welcome back. It is day 365. Well, the map says day 367, but when I saved, it says day 365. Maybe it's day 366. I don't know. Seems a little wonky. But anyway, we have completed 1 year in Sons of the Forest. It is autumn, which means any minute now it's going to be winter. I just rode the zip lines here, so Virginia and Kelvin are following me. But I wanted to show kind of the way I've got the bases here at the end. I'm not going to do a full tour, but as you know, I'm down here at this river here on the map. And it may be somewhere I do in hard survival because this water is always running even in the winter. That means if you build like towers out here, they're safe from attack. You know, pretty basically invincible. So that's something that I might need in hard survival. We'll see. And of course you can trap the edges when they do attack. It's free food basically. There's also fish there. But I don't want to build the exact same base twice either, so we'll see. This spot's also a contender because of how much respawnable items like the pot are over there, but also MREs and stuff. And I've had whole episodes on this stone base, so I won't spend much time. You know. Great if we could get attacked. Oh, don't go down there. Stupid. I'm stupid. Alright, let's move on. We've seen it. There's lots of deer there, which is good and bad because they set the traps off. I do want to beat the winter here. But the goal for today, it's actually going to be basically like the end. So I think what I'm going to do is kind of go show what I've been working on at the main base. I think the last episode when I got the rifle was like day 330. So that was like 35 in-game days ago. I did film an episode in between, but I just didn't like it. It was just boring, me cutting down trees early. So I didn't do anything with it. I'll show the finished product, and then I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the hang glider from the main base out to the ocean and fly it all the way to the backside of the island, go to the final bunker, and find my way to the cube. And I know there's a new boss after the cube. I mean, I might just have to build somewhere. I won't build this exact base again, but building here, of course, is great because this water always runs, and then I got arrows inside. So I know we've done lots of episodes on it, but being able to drop down into here and right into the cave with the 3D printer right there, it's pretty OP. But, you know, I really could just have, like, a zip line over to it and build a more normal base, like here. Or I could build it over there on that flat area again and then just zip line over. There's also 9mm ammo right there. So the spot's pretty good. I'd have to at least build something here as a place to come and get 3D ammo. Or 3D printer arrows. We'll see. I'm excited about the next, the hard survival. But without the, you know, if ammo crate's not respawning, I don't mind all the other crates, honestly. But having no ammo is going to make, like, I remember how much shotgun shells I used on the demon boss. When we, you know, how would you do that with low ammo? I don't know. So this is what I've been doing. I didn't even talk about it, but you can see, I'm just going to run down here. I've cut a huge swath of trees right through here, and I zip lined them to here, staged them, and then dumped them right back in. I did remove those zip lines because I don't want them to be like basically in the way. I want this to now be a path for the hang glider to go through too. But what I needed all the wood for, and I honestly, I did most of the logs myself. Kelvin built so many traps over the last 30 days. I've basically wrapped the whole outside of the base with traps. And I just ran, I mean, I used all the ropes that were inside the base. And then I ran up to that cliff about 50 times. But let me take one of these ropes up. Can I jump on here? I cannot. Oh, you'd think after a year of practice I could maneuver myself a little bit, but still a putz. So yeah, working on these walkways is basically what we've been doing. Let's eat, let's drink. I see some, is that Virginia over there? Or is that a cannibal? Oh, it's a red guy. They're so far away, they don't even get aggroed by me, really. There we go. So you see, almost wherever he goes, I can then come get in front of the logs. And even if he comes here, there's spikes through the logs. And almost everywhere there's traps. Now, on certain spots outside, you can't put a trap because it's too curvy or whatever. But most of the spots, you know, pretty well coated with traps. Enough that when I'm at this base, like, look how slow, like, my spears and stuff spawn in over here. You could just tell the game's working over speed. Even look at that shadow. I feel like when I first got the game on, I feel like something like that shadow would render a lot further out on the ground. And so just, I could tell the GPUs are, it's really having to think about all these items I've added to the game, all these traps, all these spikes, all these buildings, of course. But the traps in particular, I think, is what hurts me. So this was the other part of the base that was kind of my weak point before, if you remember. And while I did have it coated with spikes a little bit, they were always attacking here, and I was always repairing. So I was able to push these stones out in a way that I couldn't get the logs in a nice clean way. And even if they come to get to the stones, I've got some spikes going through. So this is a defensive like tactic I'll probably want to do again, where I've got spikes going through the wall. Let's see what that looks like from the outside, actually. Because I am pretty happy with the way this works. I'll probably take damage. You can see there's just enough spikes coming through. On this side that they can get you. And then I've got spikes kind of blocking where I can't put traps, and then traps galore everywhere that I can. And everywhere, of course, on this side that you couldn't put traps, I put 10,000 spikes early in the game. And then this area down here that I couldn't get spikes, I got this platform and just coated it with spikes. It was probably around like day 270 to 300 spent in this area. Good times. We do get attacked up in this area fairly often, so I'd love to get one. In my last video here, I mean, the other thing I could do is go spawn in some cannibals just to see. But we could do that on another. There's a guy. We'll do that on another episode, like stress testing this base. But I just wanted to kind of show it off natural as I've built it here. Again, I know it doesn't look like the fantastical ones you see online and stuff, but I built this base one tree at a time, swinging the axe. Got one. And most of what you see online, people are using cheat stick commands too. What? That guy's armor was ridiculous. He's hitting the spikes. That was weird. But yeah, just to get these walkways, I cut down. I feel like it was probably a hundred trees or so. But basically everything from here over all the way down that path. So we've all seen the rest of it before. The walkways were the new one, but they've really, I can now, between you can see the traps outside, I'll do the whole loop. And this is reminiscent of my old base in the forest, where I had walkways everywhere. And the forest map was so small, I could actually build walkways like all the way around the forest. Where here I have zip lines and walkways all the way around my camp. But yeah, there's nowhere they can really come that I can't get to the edge and get good shots on them. And I can even use freebie ammo like this to get everywhere, you see. This area might be the weak point because you can't put traps here. There's just spikes. But they usually attack from up the hill, and so they get attacked, they get stuck in all these traps, or they come, much more rarely from down there, which is right where my finger is where the rip gun cave is, and sometimes they come up from this water down here, but when they do, they hit this little line of traps, and they rarely get these. You can see they're not even knocked down too much, but these ones right in here get me a lot of kills on this side. So definitely some lessons learned. Another thing I noticed way late in the game, like day 350 or something, there's 8 shotgun slugs right inside that first room, inside that cave, and once you've wiped it out, there's no enemies. So I could have just been running there the whole time and picking up 8 slug ammo a day. That might be handy in Hard Survival 2 because it's not in a case. It's just on the ground, and so I think that means it'll respawn. I don't know why I just came to pick these up. This is my last day. It's not going to matter. Well, I guess we still have one more guy, and it'd be nice to have the stuff. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, there's nothing left to do. I'm going to hop my way to the other side of the map, go in the last bunker, and see what this last guy is about. So thank you for coming with me this far. I will not, so I don't have to edit and everything. I'm just going to cut the video somewhere during this flight, and then we'll pick it back up probably I'll go right to the door of the cube, like after the demon boss, and just get to the last bit. But hopefully you guys have enjoyed it. I know you've probably seen a lot of this before, but I did want to show you these last updates to the base. It did take me like an in-game month to get that walkway that you're seeing there, basically, and the stone at the end. Luckily, the stone was, you can see how many stones just spawn right on the ground there. So Kelvin was able to fill up that sled infinitely, and I could build that stone super fast. In retrospect, had the stone been in the game when I built this base, I could have probably just skipped a lot of the logs and just built the whole base out of stone, because all you have to do is, worst case, exit the game and come back in and all the stones are back, and you can just fill the sled up over and over and over. So almost like a stone hack. But anyway, we'll get the show on the road, and in the process I'll be able to show you like the path that I cut here. That wasn't a great jump, but it should be fine. Yep, we're fine. So before, I would kind of run into the trees there too. Now I can shoot right out. There's the zipline base we just came from. We'll fly over. Gotta stay pretty high though to get out of here. This was one of my favorite bases, and probably the first one I recorded, right by those graves. But it's got water in the winter, fish. Really easy to defend location, because you got your back up to that cliff. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to fly out over the beach and just basically make my way all the way around the island. And so when I start up the next one, we will take out the demon, or we'll be at the demon boss. We'll go into the cube and we'll see what the last boss is about, and we will jump off of this island once and for all. Thank you guys so much for coming with me this far. It really has been a good time. I'm sorry I've not edited the videos more, but at the same time, you can see there's lots of other examples of that on YouTube, and I wanted this one to kind of be just what it looks like playing the game all the way through to get it done. So anyways, thanks again, and I'll see you for the last one. Peace.